before October 7th, the Palestinians in Gaza basically lived in a giant open-air prison. What happened was that in 2005, when Ariel Sharon was the prime minister of Israel, he decided to pull the settlers out of Gaza. As you know, there are settlers in the West Bank. Up until 2005, there were Israeli settlers in Gaza, and Sharon pulled them out. And he pulled them out because Gaza was a hornet's nest, and having settlers in there was a nightmare. And they had their hands full in the West Bank, and they wanted to focus on the West Bank. And what they did was pulled all the settlers out, and it became an open-air prison. Now, it looked up until October 7th like Netanyahu and company were able to manage the situation inside of Gaza. Nobody thought what happened on October 7th was going to happen. This is why the Israelis got caught with their pants down. They thought they were managing the situation very well. And what was going on there is that Netanyahu was actually very happy with the fact that Hamas was running Gaza. This is hard to believe today, but it is true. And he was making sure that Hamas was being funded and that Hamas was doing reasonably well. Now, why is that the case? Because Netanyahu is adamantly opposed to a two-state solution, and Mahmoud Abbas, who runs the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, is in favor of a two-state solution. So from Netanyahu's point of view, Abbas is a threat because Abbas wants a two-state solution. So what Netanyahu has done is supported Hamas, because we all know Hamas does not want a two-state solution. And he's playing off Hamas against the PLO in the West Bank. And it looks like it works. And by the way, every once in a while, every couple of years, the Israelis mow the lawn, which means they precipitate a conflict with the Palestinians. They go in there, they kill hundreds, if not thousands of Palestinians, destroy some buildings, and send them a very clear message that, we're in charge and we want you to understand that you have to remain in this open-air prison. So that's the basic situation that exists. It looks like Netanyahu is managing the situation, and almost everybody thinks that, which is, again, is why they get caught with their pants down on October 7th. But again, what happens on October 7th is that Hamas attacks into Israel, and I think it's fair to say achieves a spectacular success. I think the evidence is that Hamas was surprised by how successful they were. And anyway, they eventually leave Israel, and the Israelis consolidate the situation inside of their borders. And then they eventually go on the offensive against Hamas. And that offensive is now taking place. Okay. Now, what we want to ask ourselves is, what exactly are Israel's goals here?